You walk into a room, you speak, you try to fit in, and yet nobody truly hears you, nobody truly respects you. They smile to your face, but the moment you turn around, you disappear from their minds completely. Why does that happen? Why do some people hold an unbelievable magnetic control over every space they enter, while you feel like an extra in your own movie? The world told you a massive lie. They told you that to be valued, you have to talk louder. You have to explain yourself. You have to be nice, accessible, and constantly available. They taught you to seek approval like a beggar standing in the rain, hoping someone throws you a crumb of validation. And that exact lie is destroying your spirit. Listen closely, because what I am about to tell you is something society desperately tries to hide from you. There is an unseen, subtle law of human nature, a quiet authority that shifts the spiritual and psychological weight in any room. It is the secret rule of social power. And if you do not learn it right now, in this exact moment, 2026 will sweep you away into total obscurity. You will watch inferior people take the promotions you deserved, the respect you earned, and the life you prayed for. Do you know what it actually feels like to be completely unseen? It is not just an annoying feeling. It is a slow, quiet poison to your soul. You sit at a table, you share an idea, and everyone talks right over you as if you were made of glass. You text someone and you wait hours, days, watching your dignity evaporate while you stare at a dark screen. You give your time, your energy, your softness, your absolute best to people who wouldn't even step over a puddle to help you. And deep inside your chest, there is a heavy burning ache that asks, why am I never enough? Why do I give so much only to end up feeling so empty? It feels like a dark, heavy blanket has been thrown over your entire existence. You pray for a sign. You pray for strength, but the silence coming back from the universe feels cold. You begin to wonder if you were just born to be a background character, meant to watch others succeed while you wither away in the shadows. It feels like a quiet form of spiritual decay, doesn't it? Like a slow theft of your God-given destiny. I remember a time when I was living in that exact hell. I was reaching out for anything, desperate to feel valuable, desperate to be acknowledged by people who didn't even care if I breathed. I remember standing in a crowded room, surrounded by noise, laughter, and voices, and feeling completely, terrifyingly alone. I was trying so hard to be liked that I stripped away every piece of my own identity just to fit into their tiny broken boxes. I was running on empty, spiritually exhausted, completely drained by spiritual warfare I didn't even realize I was fighting. I thought if I just did more, said more, and pleased more people, someone would finally see my worth. I was seeking light in places that were pitch black. I was begging for water from people whose wells were filled with poison. And late one night, sitting alone in the dark with tears stinging my eyes, I hit absolute rock bottom. I realized I was handing the keys to my spirit over to toxic, broken human beings who were just as lost as I was. In that dark night, a terrifying realization washed over me. The reason I had no power was because I was giving every drop of my energy away for free. I was broadcasting my weakness to the unseen realm, and the dark forces of this world were feasting on my desperation. When you try too hard, when you speak too much, when you give everything away, you are not showing love. You are showing fear, and fear is an open door for defeat. The Bible says, "A fool uttereth all his mind, but a wise man keepeth it in till afterwards." There is a profound, divine truth in that ancient wisdom that modern society has tried to erase. Power does not roar. Power does not beg. Power does not run around trying to prove its existence to anyone. Real power, divine, high-value power, moves in absolute, terrifying silence. Look at the nature of God's most powerful creations. The sun does not scream at the earth to notice its heat. It simply shines, and the entire world orbits around it. The storm does not ask for permission to change the atmosphere. It settles over the sky, and everything falls silent in awe. When you master the art of silence, you step out of the noisy, chaotic trap of the enemy and step into the authority of the Almighty. Silence is not just the absence of noise. Silence is the presence of absolute control. When you stop reacting to every insult, every ignore, Every foolish distraction, you become a mirror that reflects people's true intentions back at them. People fear what they cannot read. They respect what they cannot control. They worship what they cannot easily buy. The secret rule of social power is simple, yet deadly effective. Starve the world of your presence so they learn the true cost of your value. When you speak, let your words carry the heavy weight of gold, not the cheap noise of gravel. When you walk into a room, carry a spirit so grounded, so anchored in God, that the atmosphere shifts without you having to open your mouth. You become a spiritual fortress. The dark forces that used to drain you suddenly have nothing to grab onto because you are no longer operating on desperation. You are operating on total surrender to your higher purpose. But there is a catch. Most people who hear this will try to fake it. They will try to play cold games, perform petty silent treatments, or put on a fake mask of stoicism. And they will fail miserably. Because you cannot fake a powerful spirit. You cannot fake an anointed presence. If you are empty on the inside, your silence will smell like weakness, not strength. So how do you build this real, undeniable, magnetic authority from the ground up? How do you break the curses of spiritual exhaustion and step into the high-value human being you were created to be? Listen carefully now, because I am giving you the 3 eternal pillars of absolute social authority. The first pillar is the law of emotional detachment. You must stop letting minor, temporary people trigger permanent reactions in your spirit. When someone disrespects you, ignores you, or tries to test your boundaries, do not argue. Do not explain yourself. Do not throw an emotional tantrum. Your emotional reaction is their reward. When you react, you surrender your spirit to them on a silver platter. Instead, give them absolute, stone-cold silence. Let them scream into the void. Let them wonder why their toxic darts are bouncing off your spirit like dust. When you master emotional detachment, you become spiritually untouchable. You stop fighting flesh and blood, and you start walking in divine authority. The second pillar is the art of strategic absence. Most people are too available. They answer texts in 2 seconds. They show up to every event. They explain every detail of their lives on social media. They are an open book that nobody cares to read anymore. If you want your presence to carry weight, you must make your absence felt. Disappear from the noise. Step back into the shadows. Focus on building your mind, your body, your relationship with the Creator, and your mission. Stop telling people your next move. Show them the results after the battle is already won. When you move in silence, the enemy cannot target what he cannot see. Your life becomes a mystery, a divine masterpiece hidden under the wings of the Most High. And when you finally step back into the light, the world will have no choice but to pay attention. The third pillar is the development of an unshakable internal core. Where does your true value come from? Does it come from the clothes you wear, the people who text you back, or the likes on your phone? If your worth is built on human approval, you are building a house on shifting sand. A single storm of rejection will tear your whole life down. Your core must be anchored in something eternal, something divine, something that cannot be bought, sold, or stolen by this broken world. You must realize that you are fearfully and wonderfully made by the architect of the universe. When you truly understand that you carry divine lineage, you stop begging peasants for a crown that God already placed on your head. You walk different. You speak different. You hold eye contact without flinching. You carry a calm, dangerous confidence that makes wicked spirits tremble and respectable people bow in acknowledgement. Look around you right now. We are living in the year 2026, a time of unprecedented spiritual chaos, digital noise, and emotional decay. People are more distracted, more insecure, and more spiritually starved than at any point in human history. If you continue to do what the average person does, you will suffer the exact fate that the average person suffers: anxiety, emptiness, and complete social irrelevance. This year is not going to wait for you to wake up. Time is moving with a terrifying speed, and the window to claim your true authority is closing fast. If you ignore this message, if you go back to your old habits of pleasing people, oversharing, and begging for attention, you are choosing your own destruction. You will wake up 5 years from now looking in the mirror, wondering where your life went. Watching your dreams belong to someone else who had the courage to discipline their spirit. Do not let the enemy rob you of your destiny for another single day. The spirits of laziness, fear, and people-pleasing have kept you bound in chains for long enough. It is time to break the spiritual locks of your life. It is time to put on the full armor, step out of the shadows of defeat, and claim the divine power that belongs to you. Repeat these words deep in your soul right now. I will no longer give my sacred energy to those who do not respect it. I will no longer lower my standards to fit into spaces I was born to lead. I walk in the quiet, dangerous authority of a child of God. I am done begging. I am done explaining. I am stepping into my absolute power. Father, cleanse my spirit of fear, wash away my need for human validation, and fill my mind with quiet, unyielding strength. Anchor my heart in your eternal power, so that no storm of this world can ever shake my foundation again. Give me the discipline to hold my tongue, the wisdom to move in silence, and the spiritual presence to impact every life I touch. Break every curse of rejection, every chain of low self-worth, and every dark scheme designed to keep me small. I claim my position as a leader, a conqueror, and a light in this dark world. Look at yourself once more. The season of you being passed over, used, and ignored ends today. From this exact second forward, you move differently. You do not seek attention. You command authority. You do not run after people. You attract what is meant for you by the sheer force of your spiritual gravity. Walk with your head held high, your mind focused, and your soul completely locked in silence. The world is waiting for the real, powerful, unapologetic version of you to finally step forward. Claim this energy today, lock it into your spirit, and never look back if you are ready to reclaim your divine power and move through 2026 as an unstoppable force. Prove it right now. Like this video to spread this light, subscribe to lock into this frequency, and comment Amen down below to claim this spirit of absolute power. I will see you at the top.